Hello, and welcome to Gentle Yoga with Tanya. I'm Tanya. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Few things before we get started. I always like to have a couple of items on hand nearby just in case, I need a little extra cushion or boost or whatever it might be during my practice. So today I do have a little blanket that's folded so that we can sit on. We're going to be doing some stretches that are fairly passive, but will also stay in them a little bit longer. So really being comfortable is important during those poses. So if you want to take a moment and go grab just a small blanket or a little pillow, that would be good. And then during Shavasana today, I am going to have my handy dandy big old squishy pillow for underneath my knees. So if you do like to have something like that as well, please make sure that you have that on hand. We also are going to be doing standing poses and a balance pose today. So if you do like to have a chair nearby, that would be a great thing to have on hand just in case you're needing a little extra support in that way today. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just sitting in an easy cross-legged pose here. I'm going to place my right hand on my chest and I'm going to let my left hand go to my belly. And I'm just going to let my chin slowly make its way towards my chest. I'm just going to breathe here. And just take a moment and notice the movement of the hand that's on your abdomen. For me, it's my left hand. And just notice as you breathe in and as you breathe out, that movement. Notice how your body feels sitting on your mat right now. The gentle rise and fall of your abdomen. Take note of the sounds that you hear in your space and bring it all into your practice. Notice if the sounds have an effect or a beat or a vibration that moves with you. Notice the beating of your heart beneath the hand on your chest. Notice the steadiness of that. And slowly start to hone your focus in on just the breath and just the beat of your heart. Let everything else in your space just fall away. What you have is the breath and the beat. And as you are focusing on your breath and on that steady beat of your heart, allow your thoughts to have a focus as well. Allow them to set an intent for class today. It could be an emotion that bolsters you, that guides you. It can be a thought or a phrase or a prayer, whatever it might be that informs your movements, anchors your thoughts. It could even be a goal of sorts of what you're hoping to feel and think at the end of your time here with me today. Whatever it is, just let it sink into your being as you breathe in and out. And on your next in-breath, just allow your neck to come back up to a neutral position. Let your hands kind of come to your knees, and we're just going to let your shoulders very, very gently and in small circles just roll. Keep that breath nice and steady. And you can let the circles become a little bit bigger if you want, really rising the shoulders and lowering. Rising, raising. Whatever word works for you. Oh, I might make up a lot of words today, so just roll with it. Roll with it, get it? Roll with it. Okay, let's switch directions. I promise, no more corny jokes. Maybe. Sometimes I can't help it. Roll forward. And you can let these forward rolls get a little bigger, just really just allowing everything to just start to release. Just let everything start to loosen. Very nice. Let's let that motion stop. Bring your hands together. Get a nice amount of warmth in here. And the reason I'm asking you to get a little warmth in is that we are going to be doing a little bit of a neck massage. And you want to make sure that your hands aren't cold. That's one of the reasons. So once you get a nice little bit of warmth in those fingers and in your palms, really awakening them as well, you want to take your hands, and I have them cupped just like a little tiny C here, and starting at the base of my skull, right where you can fear bird. I'm Swedish, so right where you can feel that first vertebrae go in, and just very gently, it's just a little pulse almost. It's not a full squeeze. Squeeze seems like such a harsh word. I say it all the time in yoga, like a gentle squeeze, but a pulse is really more a very slow, easy, and work your way down to the tops of your shoulders. Breathing as you do. Sometimes when we're doing actions like this, I find that I might be holding my breath because I'm so concentrating on what my arms are doing. So please make sure that your breath is nice and steady so we get all the full benefits of our practice. Shake it out. And then I'm going to take my right hand, bring it over, and reaching back just as far as you're comfortable. And just do a little pulsing action again, just a little gentle release. Just beginning to awaken the muscles in this area, the lymph in this area. Just getting everybody ready to move. Beautiful. And if this is too far back for your comfort level, if you're really feeling uncomfortable in here, just do right here. It's totally fine. This is your practice. I'm just here to offer up some suggestions or guidelines, really. And you take with it what works best for you. Okay? So let's take the other hand, again, reaching back only as far as you're comfortable. If you can go back farther, great. And we're just squeezing and releasing. If you are a shoulder tension holder, present, you will definitely notice the benefits of this little action here, even just something this subtle and this simple. It really can just be an opener for you. Okay, very nice. So let's take a nice deep breath in. And I'll mirror you here. So we're going to exhale and let your chin go towards your right shoulder. And then when you inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time each side. Very nice. Back to center. And this time we're going to just let on the exhale, just let your right ear travel towards your shoulder and be mindful of the shoulder. You want to make sure, my tendency sometimes is to drift up, right? They don't actually need to touch. They don't need to be near each other. All you have to do is just as if your ear is coming towards your shoulder, okay? Just breathe here for a couple of breaths. If you're feeling like you want a little extra stretch, you can always guide your head. And then on your next inhale, let's straighten that up and go to the other side. And you should really feel a nice little release right in here, a gentle, gentle stretch. If this causes any actual strain or pain, please come out of it and just meet me in the middle there, and we'll join up again in a second. Breathing here. This can be really relieving, especially this time of year in this season if you have allergies and things just start to get a little clogged. Breathing in, come back to center. This can really help just sort of let things start to get moving again and relieve some of that pressure and that intensity from your allergies. So let's take with that in mind, let's do a little more. I'm using my right hand. I'm going to hold the back of my neck, almost like the scruff of my neck. And I'm just going to do super duper quick little head nods, yes, here. Yes, yes to life, yes to all things that help you grow and find peace and bring a smile to your face. And quick no's, no to giving up, no to not keep trying, no to all of those things. Turning our no's to yeses, right? And release, and let's do the other side. Other hand. We only have one neck, one side. Okay. Yeses, super quick. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Really gentle, really quick. And then nose. And the squeeze is a very light squeeze. I'm saying squeeze again, but it really is just a very light one. It's nothing that should be leaving even a little print from your fingers. It's just a very gentle squish here. And release. And if you do have a little bit of stuffiness, you may just be feeling a little bit of right now. So from here, we're going to stretch our legs a little before we go next, because we have been sitting cross-legged for a while and I really want to work that out for you. So stretch your legs forward and let's let those feet stretch out, roll the ankles in a nice little circle here. Don't worry if you hear little cracks. That's just your body saying, more synovial fluid released, please. You really need to just lubricate in those joints. If the cracks are accompanied by pain, then stop and not continue for the moment, okay? So let's switch directions. Again, nice steady breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath on these movements. Always keeping that breath steady, always keeping it flowing and moving. That That is the key. Our breath is the key. Very nice. And let's just go. Inhale, toes up. Exhale, toes forward. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Nice. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Very nice. So we're going to take a little bit of a stretch here, a little butterfly stretch. So I'm going to let my feet come together. And this is a place where you could definitely use something to sit on. Gives your hips a nice little lift and puts you in just a really great position to help get maximum benefits from this forward fold. And it is a forward fold, so if you do have any kind of tenderness in your neck, or it's really uncomfortable for you to release completely, it is absolutely okay for you to come forward just a little bit like this, okay? And it's okay to keep your head forward. If you do have neck issues and you have a chair handy, you can always just prop a little forward on the chair and just hinge forward from your hips. There's so many great ways to take care of this area if it's a cause of concern for you. So from here, if that's not a concern for you, and you can join me in this way, and also how close or how far away your legs are, completely your call. If you're most comfortable with them out here, please do that. If you are most comfortable with them in, go for it, right? Mine are somewhere in this little medium spot for me. So we're going to breathe in here, sitting up nice and tall. And then when I exhale, I'm not going to release all the way just yet. I'm just going to come forward a little bit. And then when I inhale, I'm going to come up. And this is just so we can start to understand how this position is going to feel. So let's exhale, go forward again, just really prepping the body for what it can expect. Inhale up. And this time, if it's okay for you and it feels all right, let's go ahead and release all the way down. You can let your fingertips slide forward and just let your neck completely release. If you're in a release and you start to feel too much pressure on your spine or too much pressure on the back of your neck, just come up. You can come up a little bit like this, totally fine. But if you're able to release, go for it. We are going to be here for quite a bit. Another reason for the cushion, and you want to make sure that your sit bones here are completely solid on your mat or on your cushion or blanket, whatever you might be using. And just let it happen, friends. Just let it happen. Breathing in and out. Just letting your head completely go. Noticing that subtle rise and fall of your abdomen as you inhale and exhale. And let gravity do the work here. Let it just take care of your body. And see if you notice on the exhale if you are closer to your feet or the mat or wherever. Just notice if there has been movement, if there has been release since we started this pose. few more breaths here. So on your next inhale, you're going to let your hands slowly make their way back towards midline of your body, and you want your neck to be the last thing to unroll here. So slowly unwind. And you may feel that was a little bit longer than we do sometimes. So you may feel a little bit of a sort of a vulnerability there in your back and in your neck. And as long as that's not accompanied by pain, that's kind of sort of what we were going for, that really nice luxurious stretch. So that's what's happening there. So from here, we're going to let your legs stretch out only as far as you're comfortable. I'm going to stay on my folded blanket here. For this one, we are going to do a little side stretch, forward stretch. If this is uncomfortable for your knees, you can absolutely bend them, and I recommend flexing your foot as well. If you need to do that, I'm going to do a little bit of both. Or you can always pull in something. If you have, say, a knee that's super tender, you can always just give it a little bit of a bend there. Okay, but if you don't need anything, no worries. So let's just breathe here. And then as you exhale, I want you to turn towards your right foot. Breathe here. And then as you exhale this time, I just want you to lean a little bit towards your left knee. Inhale up. Your right knee. Exhale down. Inhale up. And this time when you exhale down, you can release all the way if it's okay for you. And it's not about how far down your stretch goes. It's really the act that we're considering here. The prize in yoga is that your body feels strong and healthy, and that your mind feels strong and healthy. The prize doesn't come from how far you stretch down, It's just that you stretch down that matters. And everyone's stretch will be different. And even side to side, our stretch might feel different, and that's okay. That's as it should be. Exhale. We're not going to hold this one quite as long. Just a few more breaths here. You really want to think about your left hip here, and you really want to make sure that you're not rising up as you stretch down. If you do feel it rise up, you can decrease the amount that you are bent forward. That's fine. And on your next inhale, very gently walk your way back up. And let's take an inhale here. Exhale, turn towards your left. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Just think of how it's going to feel. If you're starting to feel too much of a strain here on your hamstring, just go ahead and bend it up. Inhale up. And exhale, release. And again, only as far as you're comfortable. This side may feel completely different than the other side. Or it might not. Just breathe here. Noticing where it feels stretched Noticing the breath. Noticing the hip, making sure that it's solid with your mat or your pillow. One more breath here. And as you inhale, come up. Now let's bring it all together. We're going to go forward, right? So let's inhale, exhale forward. And again, inhale up. And you can inhale through your nose here and then exhale with a. One more. Inhale up through the nose. And then exhale. And I'm choosing not to release all the way here. I'm choosing just to stay up on my arms, but you are more than welcome to go all the way down if that's what you feel like doing today. I feel like doing it like this. I'm just being mindful that my ears and my shoulders have a fair amount of space. Really noticing how this feels on my hamstrings, my lower back. My neck. One more breath. And then as you inhale the next time, walk those hands back towards your midline. Very nice. Let's come into tabletop. We have a ton of props today. All right, so when we are in table, you want to make sure that your shoulder is directly in line with your wrist and that your hips are above your knees. So everything is nice and balanced. Give yourself a nice wide jazz hand here, a nice little base. Okay, and then we are going to exhale, tucking your tailbone down, letting that back go up. And then we're going to inhale all the way through, arching your back. This is a really beautiful little back stretch here. Letting your chin come up, smiling if you feel it. And then when you're ready to exhale, bringing it all the way through the center and back. Tucking. And again, all the way through. Really take your time with this action. There's no rush. I'm not going anywhere. Take your time. Really notice the breath. Notice the movement. One more time here. Inhale. Really nice stretch in that arch. And then exhale. Beautiful. And then inhale to center. We're just going to do a little bit of a twist here. So we exhale, looking over your left shoulder, towards your left hip, kicking your left hip out just a little bit so you get this nice little tiny, tiny curve here. And then back to center. And then the other side, exhale, just as if you're looking over your right shoulder, kicking that hip out just a tiny bit, creating just a small twist. 2 more times each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last time each side. Exhale here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to center. And then let's come back on your knees. And we just spent a little bit of time on our wrists, so we're just going to roll them out a little. Show them a little love. And then switch directions. Little spirit fingers here, little flashing lights, whatever you want to call them. And I'm letting my knees come all the way out to the sides of my mat. I have my big toes touching each other. And we're going to go down to the mat for a really lovely little stretch. I will say though, if this is not comfortable for you, you can bring your knees in a little bit. You can put a little cushion back here. You can even, choices are endless, folks. You can even take your handy dandy big old pillow if you have one and just kind of snuggle with it here. Okay, so there's whatever feels right for you today is what you should do. Okay, I'm going to keep my knees out wide, my toes together, breathing here, and then when I exhale, I'm just going to let my arms come forward, drop my forehead to the mat, and just breathe. So lovely. Just really enjoying this nice little stretch. And what I'm noticing here is how it feels when I inhale on my lower back. I really feel the expansion back there. And then when I exhale, just letting it all come back in, releasing everything. It's like doing a little fall cleanup in your own body and your mind, right? We're bringing in fresh air on the inhale, fresh thoughts, fresh moments, and then we're releasing our old air, anything we don't need anymore, just sending it all away. We are welcoming and releasing. And on your next welcoming inhale, let's bring the body back up. And from here, we're going to go into a little bit of a low lunge. So we're going to lunge forward with our right foot first. So I'm going to come up on all fours back into table. And I'm just going to inhale and step my right foot forward. Okay, and then your left foot you can adjust however feels right for you. My knee is bent, and you do want to make sure that your knee is above your ankle here, and you can put your hands on fingertips. You can bring them up here to your knee if you want. You just want to make sure that you're in a really safe position for you. Okay, if you want to lean back forward here, you can in a nice lunge. You can let your head drop and just breathe here for a moment. All right, just kind of getting settled, feeling where it's right for you, making any little tiny adjustments that you might need to make to feel comfortable. And then on your next inhale, you can rise up either on your fingertips, or you can let your hands come to your knees, or if you're feeling super duper adventurous, you can let your arms come up over your head, shoulders down away from your ears, and just breathe. Right? And then on your next exhale, you're going to let your left hand come to your right knee and just do a little twist. And you can grab your hand behind you in a little bit of a bind if you want, or you can just leave it, whatever. works for you. One more breath here. Very nice. And let's reach back down to the ground. And you're going to lean back, bringing your right foot up a little bit just for a tiny little stretch here. You can let your neck come down if it's okay for you. Just really, really feeling that nice stretch here in your right leg. Bringing it back, bringing your leg back. And we're just going to come down for a brief rest in child's pose. Just a couple breaths here to reset. And then on your next inhale, come up. We're going to do the left side, right? So come to tabletop. Take a nice breath in. Bring your left foot forward, however is comfortable for you. Mine is between my hands here. I'm going to scooch my right leg back a little because that's what feels right for me. You just want to make sure that your knee is above your ankle here, okay? And then you can be up on your fingertips, you can be flat on the floor, you can be up here, whatever feels right. But we are going to take a quick second here to just drop your head and breathe. Really enjoying that stretch. Let's take a nice deep breath in, rising up. So you can come on your fingertips here. Again, you can come up here like this if you want, or if you're feeling super duper fabulous in this moment, you can raise your arms up like this. Couple of breaths here. Shoulders hanging out away from my ears. Want to make sure they're down. My teeth are unclenched. Breath is steady, and on my next exhale, I'm just going to twist it out. I'm going to let my right hand come to my knee, and again, you can let your left hand circle back and do a little bind if that works for you, or you can just let it rest here, let it rest here. This is sort of our like 1980s prom pose hands. Breathing here, one more breath. Looking good, bring it back, come down. Straighten that left leg, leaning back towards your right. Just breathe here, get that little stretch in there. Come on back up. Release. We're going to do 2 more breaths in child's pose. And then on your next inhale, come on up. We are going to come to a standing. So I am just going to step through here. But if you want to do a down dog and step through, you are welcome to do that. Just going to unwind, making sure my neck is the very last thing to come up. Stand with my feet pretty wide apart. I'm just going to get some swings in just to kind of loosen up. You want to make sure you're not torquing your knees on this, right? If it doesn't feel good, you can look down, or you can stay looking straight forward. If you want to deepen it a little bit, you can. Go a little deeper, check out the heel raise on the opposite side. Very nice. Just do a little reset here. Very nice. Let's just take a nice deep breath in. Inhale. And then exhale. Very nice. I did move my feet closer together. If that's okay for you to do, if you're feeling it, please do that. If you do need a little bit more space, please do that as well. I just have mine here like this. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. One more time like that. Inhale up. Shoulders are down and separated, teeth unclenched. I'm going to keep my hands together this time. Give a little pointing. And we're going to let your body drop to the right. And I'm not mirroring you on this one. My body is indeed dropped to the right. And then if it's okay for you, you can look up towards your left arm. If it's not okay for you, you can either look down or straight ahead. Breathing here, just a couple breaths, just a nice little twist. Stretch. Stretch, not a twist. Stretch. Inhale up. Exhale the other side. So nice, right? And again, you can look up if you want, if that's what you're feeling today. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale those arms down. Very nice. We are going to do a balance pose today. We are going to do tree pose. So if you do want to have a chair handy, that is a great idea. And I'll give you a couple of other modifications along the way if you would like. So we're going to start by putting our weight on our left foot and moving your right foot back and forth. Just a little bit here. And again, if you need this, go ahead and hold it. Okay? Then let's let that motion stop. And you can keep it here like it's like a little kickstand, right? Or you can move it up to different parts of your body. The only part I request that you don't put it is your knee. You don't want to ever put direct pressure on your knee like that. That would be not great news for anybody. So you can keep it down here. You can bring it to your calf, or if you're so inclined, you can bring it up here. It's whatever works for you, okay? And you can try it without your chair if you want to. And then if you start to feel a little wibbly wobbly, you can just go ahead and hold on to the chair. We're just going to take a nice deep breath in. Shoulders down and separated as you exhale. Hands to your heart center here. And I'm going to recommend that you look above your screen or below your screen. So you're not focused on me. You're focused on something inanimate. It's easier to hold your balance that way. Okay, we're going to breathe here a couple breaths. Feeling super strong and steady. I am steady. Very nice. And on your next inhale, you're going to let those arms rise up, and you can follow them with your gaze if you want or not, and then come out. I came out a little quicker than I should have. I should have held onto my chair, or I should have come out a little slower. So always keep that in mind. You want to try to come out as slowly as you go in. But it's a practice. Okay, let's go to the other side. So let's put your weight onto your right foot. Let that left foot swing a little bit. Let's stop the motion for our kickstand. So now is your decision time. You can keep your foot here, or again, you can put it wherever. And the side might feel completely different than your other side, right? So you can bring it all the way up if you want. Whatever feels right for you today. So let's inhale up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. And just breathe here. Just feeling really solid. Make sure you're engaging the muscles of the knee that is in your standing leg. For me, it's my right leg. You want to just really make sure that you're getting the base of support that you need there, right? Squeezing your glutes, squeezing your abs, but not clenching your teeth. Just breathing here, and if you want to take a nice breath in, you can follow the path of your hands. And then a nice slow exhale. And then release the leg down. There. Ta-da! We did it. So from here, we're going to do one more standing pose, and then we'll go down and do our breaths and our shavasana. Let's do goddess. So let's step your feet out pretty wide apart. And that's a technical term, pretty wide apart, mostly because I don't want to tell you how far. I like to go a little bit farther than hip width apart. I like to have a little bit of turnout here. And we're going to just inhale. My shoulders are relaxed. My hands are chill at my sides. I'm just going to breathe in here. And as you exhale, just bend. And then inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And you might find you need to make a few adjustments here and there. Exhale. Right, inhale, straighten. Last time, this time we're going to add the arms. So we're going to inhale here. Exhale, bend. And you can put your hands on your hips, or you can do some cactus arms. Whatever works for you. Breathing here. You want to make sure that your knees aren't sinking in towards each other, right? You want this nice space right here. You want to squeeze here and keep everything in a nice straight line, right? So don't go down too far. If you feel like things are starting to get sort of all kabobbled around, you might just want to come up a little bit. That's okay too. You're still getting really nice strength builder here. Breathing. One more breath. Okay, one more breath. And then on your next inhale, let's slowly bring it up. Release the arms if you were in cactus arms. Very nice. Let's just do a couple of breaths here. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Very nice. Let's go back down to the floor. So inhale up. Exhale. If you want to do a complete little swan dive here and go head first, you can. If that's too much strain here, just go ahead and bend and come down. I'm going to move my chair so you can see me. Bye. So from here, let's put your hands behind your knees and just slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees into your chest, and we're just going to do some little rolls. A little sacral massage. Feels so good, right? Switching directions. Okay, and let's stop that motion. My hands are on my knees, fingertips facing my toes. I'm going to breathe here. And as I exhale, I'm going to let my knees come towards my chest. And as I inhale, I'm going to send them away. So exhale in. Inhale away. Exhale in. Inhale away. Exhale. Inhale. This time when you exhale, straighten those legs. Inhale, bend. Exhale towards your chest. Inhale away. Exhale, straighten. And we're going to hold here. Not your breath, just your legs. Let my hands come down to my sides. You can bend your knees a little if that's more comfortable for you. We're just going to be here for a couple of breaths. And on your next inhale, you're going to want to bend the knees. And on your next exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Very nice. Let's let your legs come down to the mat. Just take a breath here. Raise your arms above your head if it's okay for you. You're just going to give a nice big stretch. Pointing your toes, reaching your fingers, as if there's a little gentle tug on the end of your toes and the end of your fingers, just stretching you. Stretchy, stretch, stretch, stretch. And release. Let's do a little spinal stretch. So I'm bending my right leg. Kick your hips just a little bit towards the right. Let that right knee come over. You want to really make sure that your shoulders are still flat on your mat. Your arms can come out to your sides. And it doesn't matter if your knee is touching the floor or if it's up like this. You just want to get that nice little twist here in your spine. So chin and eyes towards the ceiling. Think about your shoulders. You want to make sure that they're both down flat on the mat as you breathe here. And on your next inhale, let your knees unwind here. Switch so that your left knee is bent, just a little kick to the left side. And you can wrap your legs like this if that's more comfortable for you. Or you can just leave it like this too. No worries, whatever works. As long as your body is in a safe position. Keeping those shoulders down. And on your next inhale, go ahead and undo this. Very nice. Do a little windshield wiper action while you're breathing nice and steady. And it's time to prepare for Shavasana. So, whatever you need to do to get ready for that, as I mentioned, I'm going to be having this handy dandy pillow underneath my knees because I just like the way it feels. Some days I don't, some days I do. Today I'm using this, so use whatever you need to use to feel comfortable. And also, if you want to stay seated, you can just stay in a nice, comfortable seated pose as well. As long as your body is able to just completely relax, okay? So let's lower yourself down. Get nice and comfortable so there's no extra movement. Just let your hands come out to your side, palms up if it feels okay. Letting your head gently rock from side to side. And then just as your head comes back to neutral, really turning your attention to your breath. Breathing in and out. Let's breathe in for 4, 4, and hold. And let's release. 2, 3, 4. Let's breathe in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release. 2, 3, 4. One more time. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release. 2, 3, 4. Letting your breath become natural. Noticing the rise and the fall of your own breath. Noticing your toes and your mind's eye and giving them permission to relax. Your knees, your thighs, your hips. All allowed permission to release. There's nothing for them to do right now. We have nowhere to walk. We're just going to lay. Notice your back on your mat. Notice your shoulders on your mat. Your hands, how they feel, connecting to the floor, to your mat. Your chest. All are allowed peace. All parts of us allowed to just release, settle. Your neck, lips, eyes. Completely melting into this space of gentleness. This space of release. Our thoughts are allowed to release as well. We send thoughts that are no longer of use to us, thoughts that bring us tension or stress. We take this moment to send them away. And now we've cleared space for new thoughts, new feelings that we've cultivated in our time here today. Peace, strength, perseverance. All emotions that help you feel positive, kindness, peacefulness, clear, new energy. Energy that is focused and revitalized. Energy that has purpose. settle into your body, into your mind. Take them with you as you travel through this day. And slowly begin movement in your feet and in your hands. You can open and close your hands. And begin to let your body stretch in whatever way it needs to, whatever way feels good for you. And after a moment, bring your knees into your chest and just gently rock from side to side. You can open your eyes if they were closed. And then when you get to whatever side feels strongest for you today, release all the way over and just hold here for a moment. Just a pause. And when you are ready, very slowly, using your hands to press up, meet me in easy cross-legged pose. Excuse me, pillow. Let's bring our hands to our heart center and just give yourself a moment to reflect on what your intention was here today. And notice how you're feeling now and how that intention plays into how you're feeling. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you a wonderful day, and I send you